Hey everyone, and welcome back to How To Franchise. This is Brian, and this week we're taking a look at a franchise that isn't a franchise yet. We're taking a look at the newest robot kaiju brawling franchise around Pacific Rim. That's right, whenever giant monsters invade Earth, the only way to stop them is through the incredibly impractical method of building giant robots to punch them in the face. But we love it. Because we're drift compatible, we should get inside this giant robot so I can show you how to Pacific Rim. The story begins with a portal to another dimension called the Breach opening up at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. And through that portal, giant monsters enter our world and our military is powerless to stop them. So humanity comes together at last in order to deal with this threat. And what does humanity think of in order to fight these titanic monsters? Well, of course, we come up with giant robots to punch those assholes in the face. The downside to these machines is that they need 2 pilots in order to handle the mental strain of moving such a massive robot. The only pilots that you really need to pay attention in this film are Riley Beckett and his new partner Mako Mori, the Australian pilot Chuck Hansen, as well as the former Jaeger pilot and commanding officer Stacker Pentecost, as well as kaiju experts Newton Geisler and Herman Gottlieb. Riley does have a brother, but he gets got early in the film, so we don't have to worry about him. This incident does lead Riley to leave the Jaeger program early in the film, but that's okay, he comes back fairly quickly. At the point we start the film, the world government has decided to abandon the Jaeger project since kaiju are coming out at a faster rate and larger, and they keep destroying the robots faster than they can be built. So the world government has decided to build really big walls around every major population area in the world.
The best walls.
Sometimes the truth isn't stranger than fiction. As anyone with common sense would be able to tell you, these big walls don't work as they get destroyed almost immediately. This helps Riley make up his mind as Pentecost has tried to lure him back into the Jaeger program. They arrive at the HQ in Hong Kong, where they meet Pentecost's adoptive daughter, Mako. Mako proves to be immediately drift compatible with Riley, but Pentecost won't allow her to get inside one of the robots. While in Hong Kong, Riley meets Chuck, the Australian pilot of the Striker Eureka, and
you two are a goddamn disgrace. You're gonna get us all killed, and here's the thing, Riley. I want to come back from this mission because I quite like my life. You just hold back your little girlfriend. One of you bitches needs a leash.
he's a prick. Pentecost meets with the 2 scientists, Newton and Herman. Herman theorizes that the kaiju will continue to become more frequent as well as larger, ensuring the doom of humanity. Newton, on the other hand, has drifted with a damaged kaiju brain, and even though he wasn't able to see much, he's able to figure out that the kaiju are being sent by a malevolent alien force trying to colonize planet Earth. Mako is finally allowed to drift with Riley and pilot a Jaeger, but some shenanigans ensue, meaning that they're out of commission for the moment. Newton, meanwhile, looks to the kaiju black market in order to find a fresh brain to drift with. But during that time, he figures out that since he drifted with the kaiju brain to figure out their plans, it drifted with him to figure out his plans. So the aliens know what he knows. And he surmises that the 2 new kaiju that have just appeared have been sent specifically to murder him. The Jaegers sent to fight these kaiju are disabled by an EMP blast from the kaiju known as Leatherback. The only Jaeger that is capable of fighting is Riley and Mako's Gypsy Danger, which ran off nuclear power, so it doesn't get affected by the EMP blast. Gypsy Danger is sent out to do cool robot things. Yeah! Oh yeah! Oh, that's so cool! Yeah, punch him! Ooh, pick it up, do the thing, yeah! Humanity has come up with a plan in order to close the breach permanently. They plan to send a nuclear bomb through it, and once it explodes, it'll close both sides. Hopefully. Herman and Newton, who had recently drifted with the kaiju brain, figure out that the only way that the nuke will be able to enter the breach is that it has to have kaiju DNA attached to it of some kind. Gypsy Danger, as well as the damaged Jaeger Striker Eureka, piloted by Pentecost and Chuck, descend into the ocean in order to destroy the breach with a nuclear weapon that is strapped to Striker Eureka. 3 more kaiju emerge to meet them, one of them being the largest kaiju ever recorded, a Category 5. There's no benchmark. These 3 kaiju further disable Striker Eureka. With no other options, Striker Eureka detonates the nuclear device, killing all of the kaiju, excluding the largest one. Gypsy Danger, who survived the blast, is able to kill the last kaiju and ride its body back into the breach where the aliens are. Gypsy Danger detonates its nuclear core, and Riley and Mako are able to get back through the breach safely before it closes. Happy ending. Yay. What can I say about Pacific Rim? It's everything I enjoy. Giant monsters, giant robots, those 2 things punching each other in the face, and a lot of destruction and mayhem. I mean, it's got everything I like with none of the bullcrap that a lot of other movies have. Guillermo del Toro did a great job of sort of realizing the best aspects of the genre and sort of bringing them into the 21st century. And Legendary Pictures have been producing a lot of giant monster movies lately. I still think that this is the best one that they've produced thus far. I would have to say probably Pacific Rim, Kong, and then Godzilla, and that's not a knock against Godzilla. I still like it. It's just not as good as Pacific Rim. And it's just been a really interesting time just sort of seeing all these new kaiju movies come out with the sort of forebearer of all these movies being Pacific Rim, and it being so good that it led to these other ones. And now to the sequel, Pacific Rim Uprising. I'm excited for it. I'm really damn excited for it. Really the only thing that we have to go off of right now as of this recording are the trailers. They've been releasing more. The movie's very close to release, so we'll definitely know what it is by soon. But I do want to address concerns that people have, and including me. The number one concern that people seem to have is that the robots move fast, which, fair enough. You don't want it to look like Transformers. God knows no one wants it to look like Transformers. But I get it. In universe, it's been 10 years, or I believe so, since the original film. So, technology advances quite a bit, in that time. And, Striker Eureka in the first film, it moved that fast. It's not like this is suddenly a new thing. Striker Eureka was the most advanced Jaeger in the original film. So it makes sense that as more Jaegers were built, they would be, that fast. So that doesn't particularly bother me as far as an in-universe explanation goes. Like, yeah, would I still want them to look, like super heavy and things like that? Yeah, but it's explained well enough in universe to where I'm willing to buy into it. Another concern that I see a lot of people having is that a lot of the film takes place during the daytime, which I'm not sure why people don't like that, because, being able to see things during the day makes it, easier to see. I mean, I get it. People think that the sort of like neon colors of the original film during the night was really cool, but I'm glad that Stephen DeKnight is taking it in a different direction and just saying, well, it was done so well in the first film, I'm not gonna, try to one-up it doing the same thing. I'll go and do something else. And that's another thing people are concerned with, the writer-director Stephen DeKnight, and how his name is not Guillermo del Toro, which, it's a business. They decided to go forward with a sequel. For whatever reason, Guillermo del Toro wasn't able to do it, so they got someone else to do it. And I'm not super familiar with the work of Stephen DeKnight, but I do know he was the showrunner for Daredevil Season 1, which is still the best season of any Marvel Netflix show, so I think the guy has what it takes, and from what I understand, his other work has always been, super up to par, and people who know his work and are familiar with him are very excited to see what he's able to do with this film. So, I'm excited to see it too, because, I want to like the movie. I'm going in with an open mind, and I want to believe that it can be a, worthy sequel. Do I believe it's going to be anywhere near as good as the original? No, because I'm going in with predetermined expectations. Whenever I went and saw the original film, I think it was during like a weekday, and my brother said, "Hey, do you want to go see a movie?" And it's just like, "Yeah, sure, let's go see this Pacific Rim movie." It rocked my socks off. But now I'm going into this one anticipating things, and I have preconceived notions about what it should be. And so, yeah, it's gonna be something that, I might unfairly critique, but it's because it's something I care. But on the other foot, I do think it's gonna be good. It looks like a fun time. I'm not expecting anything other than a fun time. So that's How to Pacific Rim. I know that this is kind of a short episode, but I wanted to make something for the upcoming release of Pacific Rim because I wanna talk about it. I like these type of things. You should know that in the future, I am probably going to do a lot more giant monster things because that's my jam. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.